Hi, Great Shooter here. I've had a request from some of my subscribers in the comment section. They've asked me to demonstrate my draw or techniques I use for drawing a firearm. So here we go. Now I'm going to have to turn the camera down a little because I want you to see what I'm doing here where the firearm is instead of up here where the ugly is. So I'm going to change the angle of the camera, and you'll still be able to hear my voice, unfortunately, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing much better that way. So hang on a second and we'll get going. All right, before we get started, let me show you that these firearms are clear. No ammunition in the magazine. The weapon is empty. And same way with my other pistol. Now this is my Glock 33. I'm going to be using it because I pocket carry it at times. And this is my Bodyguard 2.0. As you can see, no ammunition in the magazine. The gun is empty. So everything is safe. All right. So let's get started now. All right, the first technique we're going to talk about is inside the pocket carry. Pocket pistols are a pretty handy little thing to have. It's a good place to keep a backup gun too. Most important thing with any kind of holster, whether it be a pocket holster, a waistband holster, shoulder holster, inside the waistband holster, outside the waistband holster, it needs to cover the trigger. The trigger guard needs to be covered completely. When you go to reach for your gun, no matter where it's at on your body, come in and get your grip. Keep that trigger finger extended. And when you come out, it stays extended until you rotate that gun up toward your target. Then as you start extending out toward the target, you can get that finger inside the trigger guard. So I'm going to show this slow to start with. Now, I've mentioned before in a video, and what I do is when I'm coming out of my pocket, I press that holster against my leg. It tends to keep the holster in your pocket. If you don't, you may come out with it on your end of your gun. Now, it didn't come out that time, but sometimes it does. So you want to make sure you try to press that against your pocket. Now, when I'm out somewhere in the world and I'm a little worried about the situation I'm in or the location I'm in, I may walk around with my hands in my pockets as I'm going along. And by doing that, my hand's actually on my gun. My trigger finger is extended. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the tip of my trigger finger right there. And if I come out of the pocket like that, see, I'm nowhere near the trigger. I may be touching the frame, I may be touching the trigger guard itself, but my finger is not inside there. So let's do that again. So, say my hand's not in my pocket. I see some danger. I reach in, pull. Okay. Now, I want to present the gun toward the target. So as I'm coming forward, rotating toward the target, that's when my finger starts going inside the trigger guard. And then as I extend out like that, I start acquiring my front sight, lining it up with the rear, and also looking at my target downrange. That way, by the time my arms are fully extended, or as extended as much as I can, then I should be just about ready to pull the trigger. So let's try that again. Okay, so I'm walking along, everything's hunky-dory. All of a sudden, uh-oh. Works pretty good. It also works well with my little Bodyguard. I've got it in my other pocket. Same thing, when I carry both of these guns, the 380 is the backup. So if this one doesn't get the job done, I can always go in here and come out. As you can see, my fingers outside the trigger guard. I didn't have a really good grip on the grip of the gun that time. I was too low. Let's try that again. And this is something you need to rehearse. This isn't something you can do on the spur of the moment. You really need to rehearse this. So hand goes in the pocket, press, out. Finger off the trigger guard. You can come up as you go extending out toward the target. Finger comes into the trigger guard. Boom. Okay. Same technique. Now that technique of presenting the gun, I'll go over that a little more in just a minute. But that is the way I carry my pistols in my pockets. Just like that. Okay. Now let's try a different way. We're going to try waistband carry this time, outside the waistband. Okay. So let's get going with that. All right, let's begin with our outside the waistband. As you can see, my trigger guard is completely covered by this holster. Still using my Glock 33. I do not like open carry. I think it's a little dangerous and cause a little more attention to yourself than you probably want to. But I'm going to go over this first, and then we'll talk about with an overgarment, a cover garment, a jacket, or something like that. But let's just go over the basics first. So I kind of break a draw down. You can break it down into either 4 or 5 steps. I usually do 4. You can call it 5. I don't care how you do it. And this is, like I said, this is my way of doing it. You may disagree with it. This is just me and what I do, and it works for me. Okay? So to start with, standing relaxed. Now you got some kind of sign of trouble. First thing you want to do is go to position 1, which is your weak hand comes to here. There's a reason it's going to come to here. This hand reaches for the gun. Okay? You see my trigger finger is fully extended. Step 2, you yank. You pull that gun out of the holster. Finger still out of the trigger guard. Now here's why we moved the weak hand to the center. In step 3, we're going to come to the middle and meet. Now, you don't want to sweep your hand, okay? You want this hand to come in underneath and get a good grip. And this works if you're left-handed or right-handed. If you were left-handed, it would be, something like this. But you come out of that holster, you come and meet in the middle. Now, this is where you're building your grip. The gun's rotated, so now you can start coming inside the trigger. You're looking at your target. You're bringing the gun out, presenting it. You're looking for that front sight, lining it up with that rear notch, and pointing it at your target downrange. So let's try that again. So step 1, 2, 3, 4 is extending out. 4 is extending out. And I say 4 steps because at the end of step 4, that's when I pull the trigger. You can call that step 5 if you want to. So let's try it again. 1, 2, rotate and meet in the middle. 3, extend out. 4, pull the trigger. 5. So you can call that 4 steps, 5 steps. It's up to you. But that's something you need to rehearse. It's something you need to get used to doing. That, especially the part, step 3, where you meet in the middle. You don't want to sweep that hand. You want to make sure you come up under and get a hold of that gun. Okay? Now I'm going to raise the camera up a little bit so you can actually see me presenting the gun. I'm not so sure you'll be able to see me pull from the holster, but we'll try it. Okay, now I'm going to turn and face that way. We're going to say our target's downrange. So, standing here minding my business, hands relaxed at my sides, pushing a grocery cart, whatever I'm doing. There's trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull that trigger. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull the trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull the trigger. That technique works really well It's always worked for me. It's probably what the majority of shooters do. I would think there's something close by. A lot of my training and stuff, a lot of my experience. I'm not going to say training. A lot of my experience was stuff I learned on my own, shooting in the IPSC matches, things like that, where you had to carry in a holster, you had to present the gun, and that's the way I learned to do it, and it works really well, no matter what the situation is, whether it's in competition or practice or in real life. This technique should serve you well. Okay. Now I'm going to put on a cover garment and we'll try that way. Okay. All right. I have a cover garment on now. Now it's going to be basically the same draw with one exception. Instead of your weak hand coming to here on step one, your weak hand is going to grab your garment and pull up. When you do that, you pull up, you're making it easy access for your firearm. You're also, that hand is clear because the gun's down here now. And then as you rotate and go forward, now you can come to step three and meet in the middle and extend out and fire. So let's try that again at speed. I'm going to kind of turn at a little bit of an angle so you can see what's going on. So we're just standing here minding our business. Now I kind of bobbled that meet in the middle part right there, just saying. That's why practice, rehearsing is really important. Because even if you've done this a million times, you can still screw it up. Okay, so one more time. I have to reach up and pull this garment out of the way before I can grasp the pistol. So really, you could say step one is this. All right, let's try that again. Now, if your jacket's open, well, then you can do it this way. But you've got to train that hand to flick that jacket back out of the way. So if you were carrying like this, step one, weak hand over here, strong hand going for the grip. Then you go to 2, 3, extend out, 4, 5, pull the trigger. All right, we'll try that at speed. And if you practice that presentation, looking for that front sight, you can get that lightning quick if you practice it. Okay. All right. I think we've covered zipped and unzipped. Let's move to inside the waistband. My least favorite mode of carry. All right. Like I said before, inside the waistband is my least favorite way to carry a firearm. I won't do this if there's any other way I can carry one. Main reason is getting with the gun pressed against your stomach like this. And if you're like me and you got plenty of stomach, it makes it even worse. Getting that hand in there between the grip of the gun and your stomach can be a problem. But you go like so and pull. Okay. So it's still all the same steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, try it again. Okay. 1, and see, like right there. See, this gun, this holster is a DeSantis. It rides a little low in the waistband. If I had a pistol with a full grip on it, it'd probably be a little easier. But this is my choice for carry right here. So this is the way what I'm going to deal with. It's the hand I'm dealt, and I'm going to play my cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Try it again. That works just as well as outside the waistband. Like I say, I just don't like it as hard to get in there and get a good grip. sometimes you can get a hold of your shirt with your thumb, and that's really embarrassing when you pull your shirt out. But now sometimes if I can, the times I have carried inside the waistband, I've actually tried cross draw, which I don't know if I'm going to get it in these pants right now. Just had a sandwich and I'm full. There we go. Now the reason I prefer this for inside the waistband, the gun's not pointing at anything important on my body that I don't want to lose. It's pointed over here. As a matter of fact, the worst that might happen is I might scorch my rear end a little bit, but I can live with that, okay? And if I were carrying cross draw, it'd be like so. But really, a lot of people don't recommend cross draw because if somebody spots your firearm, they can come up and just help themselves to it. So I really don't recommend cross draw either. But if you were going to cross draw, you could go like so, up, rotate, 4, 5. Okay. Well, enough of that cross draw foolishness. I do not have a shoulder holster we can use, but I can do the inside the waistband with the garment on. So stand by a minute and let me put that jacket back on. All right, as you can see, I have put my jacket back on and still have my firearm inside the waistband, appendix carry. And so if you were going to do all these steps, it's basically the same as the outside the waistband with the jacket on. Step one is this. Got to get that jacket up high. I say pull it up to your chest. You know, you don't want to pull it up too high, but, you know, get it up to your chest. That gets your hand out of the way, give you plenty of access for the firearm. So, see, I caught my thumb in the jacket. You got to practice. 2, 3, 4, fire. Okay. We'll try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I say, this thing rides a little too low. I'd like it to be about a 1/2 inch higher. All right. Okay. Now, if you're going to do this, make sure your firearm is unloaded and start out slow. Do it by the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it by the numbers. Get it so you can do it in your sleep. You'll still find that you occasionally make mistakes, but, you know, practice, like I say, makes perfect. So at speed, whoop, see, caught my jacket with my thumb. I got a little too fast. Try it again. This time I'm not going to hesitate. Okay. Let's try that one more time at speed. All right. Well, I think that's about enough. Well, let's try it with the unzipped jacket too. I didn't do the unzipped jacket. So let me get it back in the holster. Get the holster back where it belongs. There we go. Just unzip this jacket. Now. Yep, she's in there. There we go. I thought it was hanging on something. Okay, we got an unzipped garment. So same thing. Hand comes up here. Try to come up close to your heart with your hand. Don't get down here around your belly button. Get up here where your heart is, okay? So you're always clear. Meet in the middle. Press out. Bang. Oop. Now see, I didn't get a good grip, and I just stripped my hand out of there, left the gun behind. Let's try it again. Oh, bad grip that time. Practice. See, I don't carry this way, so I don't practice this way a lot. But this technique does work this way. You just gotta practice. Yeah. I just don't like that way of carrying. I'm sitting there about to draw blood out of my stomach, pinching my thumb between it and the holster and the gun. Pinching my fat between my thumb and the gun. So anyway, that's enough of that. Like I say, I don't recommend carrying this way. I didn't purchase this holster. I got it in the trade. And I don't think I'd ever consider buying an inside the waistband holster. So, but if you like it that way, that's entirely your prerogative. You carry that way if that's what you want to do. I'm not trying to tell you how to do things. I'm trying to show you what I do, and it works for me. Okay, my final thoughts on this is practice, practice, practice. Practice by the numbers. Make sure you've got a good holster that completely covers the trigger guard, because you don't want any unfortunate accidents. Okay, so having said all that, if you will, reach down there, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for coming by. This is Gray Shooter. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching.